What's up YouTube, it's Ultimate Umbria. In this video I'll be doing a deck profile of my Fire Fist deck. So let's get right into it. Starting with the monsters, 2 bear, 1600 attack, can pop a monster on your opponent's field and set a Fire Fist spell or trap after he does damage. So getting a free Tenki or Tenso on the field just for doing damage helps if you don't have it in your hand. 2 gorilla, similar to bear with the 1600 attack, and popping a spell or trap on your opponent's field and then setting a Fire Fist spell or trap. And what fire formation spell, not trap, my bad. Flameville Fire Dog, 1900 attack, and you could special summon your Spirit or Rooster with it. Brushfire Knight is good because then you could just have a monster in your grave to summon. Buffalo and Rhino, they're good because 1700 attack could get you over things and get you your Tiger King Tiger King out pretty fast. Triple Leopard because then you could just tribute him and set a spell or trap from your deck. So it's just like he only has 0 attack and 200 defense. So if you tribute him, you're not losing much, and you're getting a free spell or trap on the field. So why not run 3? Triple Hawk because if he's on the field and you have a fire formation card, that's 500 attack plus the 100 you already get. So your monsters are getting into like the 2000 attack points. And you could, when he's destroyed, you set a fire formation spell from your deck. So pretty much no matter what, he's benefiting you, whether he's dying or on the field. Triple Spirit because he's your tuner in the deck, and you could use him to special summon Rooster from the grave if he's already in the grave. So that's beneficial to you if you have Rooster in the grave. And Double Raven, I originally ran 3, except then I figured you don't really need 3 of these guys just to set a fire formation spell and to avoid being affected by other card effects in general. And because why run 3 when you have so many other things to get over stuff? One wolf because he's not even on the screen. One wolf because 1900 defense, and when he's flip face up, you could set a fire formation trap. So, and if he's flip summoned, you can set a fire formation spell. So, you're getting free back row from this guy. And the last monster is 1 Rooster, 1500 attack, special summon from Spirit. Then you could just synchro for Horse Prince. And when he's special summoned by Spirit or any other Fire Fist, you could add another Fire Fist to your hand. So that's beneficial. And then by sending 1 spell or trap to the grave, you could set another one. So it's like, if you don't really have another use for Tenki, you could just get a new Tenki or just get Tensu. Now for the spells, I run 3 Tensu because gaining 100 attack and being able to summon 2 monsters per turn is pretty fantastic if you ask me, because then you have more power on the field, quicker plays. 2 Tenki just to search a monster and gain 100 attack, that's really all it's for. And because if you don't have a bear in your hand, is the quickest way to get bear on the field. I run 1 Yugioh because I'm sorry, my dog just barked. He's still barking. But 1 Yugioh because then you could target a spell or trap your opponent has and they can't use it until this is off the field. And you also get 100 attack, so that's just pluses for you. 1 Rekindling because then you could special summon Spirit from your grave. So if you have 2 or 3 of your spirits in the grave, just summon them all up, and if you already have a monster, synchro, and if you don't, exceed. 1 MST because why wouldn't you run an MST to get rid of back row? And last spell is 1 Dark Hole because if your opponent has some really annoying monsters on the field, you don't want them there for too long because then you're going to get killed. I run 1 Tensen just because 1 monster gains 700 attack and the rest gain 300. So it's if I really need it, I attach it to Bear because then he has 2300 attack. So then I'm getting work done. So yeah. 1 Kaio because it's piercing damage, so you could hurt stuff that's in defense position, so you're pushing for more damage. And all your beast warriors are getting 300 attack, so it helps you clear the board quicker and get damage done. 1 Horde on the Phantom Beast, so then when any of your Fire Fists is getting 800 attack, and when the equipped monster is destroyed, you draw a card, so more pluses there. Starlight Road, just because I want to be able to counteract like Storming Mirror Force or anything else that's on the field, because then 1, I get a Stardust on the field, and 2, I'm keeping my other monsters and spells alive. 1 Compulsory, just in case you have to bounce something back like late game to save yourself. That's the only time I've had to use this, really. 1 Fiendish Chain, just because pretty much every monster has an effect in the meta, so... And if you could stop 1 effect, you're pretty much countering, like, the whole deck. As long as you're countering one of their big monsters. 1 Bottomless, just because everything has... Not everything, but most things that are annoying have 1500 or more attacks, so you're getting rid of them. I should really take more care of these cards instead of just throwing them like that. 1 D-Prison, just because it protects you and removes a monster from play, so... There's something really annoying. At least you're not going to see it again unless there's like doubles or triples. Sorry, I'm a bit sick, so my voice is off. Solemn Warning, because there's so many special summons going on, so it's the quickest way to counter them, in my opinion. And Mirror Force. I don't have a Storming Mirror Force, but this is still useful. So yeah. And now for the extra deck. Most of, like, the Exceed part, at least the Fire Fist engine, is pretty basic. 2 Tiger King, self-explanatory, because he's like the boss Exceed of the deck. 2 Lion Emperor, 2200 attack, and detaching a material just to add a fire monster to your hand is pretty useful, because then you're getting like your bear or spear or anything else you need back. 1 Cardinal, 1800 attack, 2200 defense, and you could shuffle, you could just recycle your spells and traps. So it's like, use Tenki and Tensu already, put them in the grave, get them back, and there you go. More power. Zen Main's just because he's a, like, if you're really desperate for an Exceed, you could just like use Spirit and Rooster, or 2 Spirits, or 2 Hawks, 2 Leopards, and then he won't get destroyed twice. You could destroy stuff, so why not use him? Cowboy, because in defense you're just pushing for damage, especially late game when they have low life points. So self-explanatory. And 2400 defense, pretty annoying to get over. This one, like, I don't really see that often in Fire Fist decks, Diamond Direwolf, but I think it's pretty useful to get rid of one of your Beast Warriors and then destroy something on the field. Sky Pegasus is something else you don't really see, but I mean, if you're, because it's a way to make your opponent pay 1000 life points if they want to keep a monster alive. Steel Swarm Roach. The only thing that bothers me about using this guy is I hate roaches, but I mean 1900 attack and being able to stop level 5 or higher from being special summoned is pretty useful, because those are always getting special summoned. And 2 Horse Prince, obviously, because he's pretty powerful, and being able to special summon a not Fire Fist, but like Rooster, Spirit, Leopard, and Hawk from your deck is pretty useful. From the deck. Vulcan the Divine is great because it's like he's a monster compulsory, so you're getting damage and returning something to the hand. Black Rose Dragon is just for if you're in a tight situation and you need to just like blow up the whole field, and 2400 attack if you don't need to do that. It's pretty good. And Stardust Dragon, because we have Starlight Road to counteract effects. Now, like, the side deck, which some of it could be main deck if I switch stuff out. Coyote, just because I was gonna use I was gonna use a 3rd Tensu, but I didn't have it, so I just put Coyote in here, just in case I needed him one day. Battle Fader, because you're blocking a battle phase, so why wouldn't you want him? Necro Gardener to deflect an attack is pretty good because you're protecting yourself from losing at least once. Fencing Fire Ferret, there's no real reason for him being here in the side deck, just I always like the design, and being able to do 500 points of damage is also useful. Forbidden Chalice just to gain the 400 attack. Torrential just because some decks just put so many monsters on board at once, you just want to get rid of them even if it hurts you. Breakthrough Skill because everything has an effect like I said earlier, so you want to do whatever you can to counter that. Forbidden Lance just because making something lose 800 attack is worth it if it's going to protect you, or sometimes if you use it on an opponent's monster just to weaken it enough to kill it. Threatening Roar just to stop a battle phase is pretty useful, especially late game. Forbidden Dress just because being able to losing 600 attack is a price to pay if you want to keep your monsters on board. And Night Beam because you could, like, some opponents have really annoying back row you want to get rid of, like Storm Mirror Force, Bottomless, Trap Tricks, Trap Hole. Max C because all the special summons going on, you want to get draws, especially if you don't have anything in your hand and you just have Max C. And then Effect Veiler because it's a tuner and you're countering effects. Oh, that's all for this deck. I hope you enjoyed it. Ultimate Umbreon app.